In order to view and/or edit a formula, you can go to the relevant cell and double-click, or you can press F2 to open up the formula editing field. Any reference cells within a formula are highlighted using different colors. These colors are also used to show the corresponding cell locations in the sheet. Sometimes you may want to gain a better understanding of how a formula is being calculated, or if a complex formula is not returning the expected results. This can be done by clicking on the Evaluate Formula button that is located on the Formula tab. Clicking this button will open up a prompt that helps you walk through the formula step by step. Evaluate Formula can be used to analyze Excel workbooks that are sent to you by someone else, or it can be used while developing and/or troubleshooting complex formulas that have multiple components. For the second exercise, we are going to use the Evaluate Formula option to help us evaluate the function that we just typed. We start by clicking on the formula in cell B21, and then we select the Evaluate Formula option from the Formula ribbon. As you can see, this opens up a pop-up window that will let us evaluate the formula that is in the cell that we just selected. We can step through the evaluation of that formula by clicking the Evaluate button at the bottom. Excel will underline the part of the formula that it is currently calculating. As we keep clicking through, we will see how Excel computes the different values, ending up with a final result of 25. Once we are done evaluating the formula, we click on the Close button to close this pop-up window. To write a formula, we first need to select the proper formula for the situation. If we do not know the exact formula that is needed, we can find a series of options on the formula bar. If we open the Lookup and Reference bar, we get a series of formulas that help us reference data. When we hold our mouse over a formula, Excel will give us a short description of that formula. Excel has hundreds of functions that can be combined to do countless operations. Even the most advanced Excel user is constantly learning new formulas and new tricks. Excel will assist you in writing formulas by providing hints regarding the structure of the formula that you selected, such as showing required inputs. Excel formulas have both mandatory and optional fields. The optional fields will be shown encompassed by brackets. If you are unsure about the formula you are using or how to construct it, you can use the FX button, which will walk you through the construction of that specific formula. Each formula has a unique logic that has to be followed in order for the formula to calculate correctly. Excel will prompt you if all fields are not provided or if fields are provided incorrectly. For the third exercise, we will be looking into how Excel can help you construct a formula by providing various prompts. Let's start by clicking on cell B27 and pressing the equal sign to start a formula. We're going to try out the average function, which is an Excel formula calculating the average value of a set of data points. As you can see, Excel recognizes the formula and tells us to enter at least one value since this is mandatory. The additional values are optional since they are encompassed by brackets. As you work within different sections of the formula, the active section is bolded. I use this frequently when trying to troubleshoot a formula. If I believe I'm working on one component of the formula, but it's not the bolded section, then I know I am missing a comma or a parenthesis somewhere. Here, let's try to calculate the average of 1 and 3. As you can see, Excel tells us that this is equal to 2. If you want to see where the contents of a cell are coming from, you can navigate to the Formula ribbon and click on the Trace Precedents button. This will highlight all of the cells that are being used in order to calculate the value in the cell that you are looking at. The Trace Dependence button, also under the Formula tab, will allow you to show any cells that are referencing the cell that is currently selected. Both the Trace Precedents and Trace Dependence buttons will show arrows on the sheet, showing you how the data flows from one cell to the other. You can remove these arrows by clicking on the Remove Arrows button that is also located under the Formula tab. These functions become very helpful when auditing someone else's spreadsheet or when error checking your own spreadsheet. For the fourth and final exercise, we will be looking into trace precedents and trace dependence. Let's start by clicking cell B35. Now, we go up to the Formula ribbon and we select Trace Dependence. As you can see, there's now an arrow pointing from cell B35 to cell C35, showing us that cell C35 is currently referencing cell B35 in its calculations. Excel also allows us to trace precedents, showing us where a cell is pulling its value from. This is done by selecting cell C35 and then going up to the Formulas ribbon and selecting Trace Precedents. As you can see, there are now two arrows pointing from cell B35 as well as cell B36 to cell C35, showing us that cell C35 is currently referencing both number 2 and the number 5 in cells C35 and C36. Note that once you are done tracing precedents and dependence, there are arrows across the screen. You can remove these arrows by clicking on the Remove Arrows button in the Formula ribbon.